Hi friends, it's Laura. How are y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a mishmash. It's a Monday. That's what we do. It's always sort of a random topic. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I sold over the weekend because I have a pretty nice collection of items that sold. I'm going to tell you how much they sold for. It's all Etsy and eBay. And I'm also going to talk about some of the leveling up that I've been doing. Look, it's small, but that's kind of what happens with actual real life leveling up is it happens in little increments. So let's start off with what I sold. Also, I'm going to take the sweater off because while it is lovely and I adore it, I am so hot. Um, let's see. And my hair is all tucked away because it's in its little pin curls. They do have to get taken down today. I just haven't done it yet. And I didn't think you wanted another video of me fucking around with my hair, right? So let's start off with what I sold on eBay. Spoiler alert, it is all panties. Love panties on eBay. I auctioned off 5 pairs of panties this week, and 3 pair have been paid for. The other 2 I'll show you as well. I'm still waiting for payment on them though. So the first is going to be, and I'm not everything's going to be in little bags because it's already been stored and put away and folded. I'm not unfolding it for you. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. This is just a little pair of thong panties that I found at the Goodwill outlet. These are Victoria's Secret. They're like 2001 or something like that. I started them off at 99 cents because I really didn't know if these were going to have any draw whatsoever. And they ended up selling for $9.50. So yay. Second is this pair of Victoria's Secret. So these are like, and I know, I'm sorry, you can't really see them, but they're old school Victoria's Secret with the gold label. You can kind of see that tag in there, right? The that tag and all that, whatever. These are like very pretty bridal-esque kind of panties. These I started them off at $4.99. They sold for $27.89. I have not really seen eBay auctions that have such odd incremental amounts. It is going to an address in the US, so I don't know what the 89 cents situation is about, but there we are. And then the third item that actually sold and has been paid for is another pair. These are Victoria's Secret second skin satin, and I started these off also at $4.99. They have a little bit of a like a weirdness to, like, there's a part of the elastic where the stitching is undone. It's a very small area, so I just closed that. These sold for $31.15. The other 2 panties that have not yet been paid for, waiting payment, are similar. So I have the leopard print or whatever kind of print, second skin satin panties. These sold for $36, but have not been paid for yet. And these are another pair of like the gold label Victoria's Secret. These are very like fluttery, and these sold for 50, I'm sorry, what? $58. That's right. Okay. $58. Yay. And they have not been paid for yet either. I looked a little confused there for a moment because I forgot that something had sold that high. I thought 36 was the highest one, but now I'm remembering. So those 2 haven't been paid for yet, but hopefully they will be going out shortly. Let's see. So next, let's move to Etsy. I did not have anything sell on Depop. Big surprise. Um, orders. All right. So I've got, what is this? Sorry, somebody wants to change a shipping address, which is, oh, thank goodness it's already what's in there. Okay, I'll answer her shortly. So I have a total of 5 orders going out for Etsy today. And first I'll show you this. So this is a thing that I've had for 8 million years, and I've got 2 things because um, it's this little tiny, I forget the name of this company. Who is it? Oh, Wheaton Glass, right? It makes these tiny little apothecary style bottles. Aren't they cute? This is a little Liberty Bell. And at some point, I don't even remember where I got them from, but I had like 4 or 5 of them. So I put them all up in a multi-item listing on Etsy. And this one is still available, but somebody had purchased one ages ago and returned it. And I left it in its little box. I mean, I'm talking a long time ago. So this is the one that actually sold, and it was $14, including the shipping. It's going to Michigan, so that's cool. What's crazy is that when I had to look for this in my little cabinet, I could not tell you like what I ate yesterday. I couldn't tell you something my boyfriend said to me this morning, but I knew exactly where this stupid little fucking bottle was, didn't I? I mean, it's got to be like 3 years since I put this thing there. Insane. Okay. Next, I have this very cute little, actually, let's do this one because it's over here. I sold a bandana, one of these guys, and the little fast color, all that business. This sold for $24, including the shipping, and that's going to Texas. So that's fun. Then, all right, this thing you're not really going to be able to see. It's a black sweater. It's really cute. It's got these little rhinestoney guys, and it's got this sort of Angora-esque business going on. This sold for, I think it was $49, and they used a coupon. Oh no, they sent me an offer. It was $49, and I accepted an offer of $39, which does include the shipping, and this is going to California. So it's probably going to be like, $30 after shipping, because California is going to be expensive and that's a little heavier. So, but that's good. I'll take it. That was originally a Whatnot sweater that I was trying to sell for 15 bucks. So that worked out. Next, I have this really adorable little peasant top. This was also a Whatnot item that I had listed probably for $15 on Whatnot. And this sold for $29, including the shipping. I think that's what I listed it for. Sorry, I'm getting some text messages. Yeah, I listed this for $29, including shipping. So, all right, let's see. And then I got an order today that I'm super stoked about. It was a 4-item order, and they did use a coupon for 20% off, which is fantastic. So the total for everything, let's see, because I'm sorry, I'm not doing all this math in my head or on a calculator for you. So we're just going to go and I'll tell you like what the original price was, and then it was 20% off of that. Okay. So first is this vintage Pac-Man t-shirt. I can't remember if I got this from an attic, a friend's attic, or if it came out of a Facebook Marketplace haul, but one of those two. This Pac-Man t-shirt, I had it listed for $79, including shipping, and it sold for 20% off, so about 60 bucks, right? Then I have this snowflake sweater, which is very bulky, and it's like cotton. I had it listed for $39, and so 20% off, it's going to be about $31, including the shipping. And then this is a crocheted, it's this like doily, dress or scarf type of situation. The thing is giant. It is a circular piece, and it's like this big. It's like 5 feet across. It's crazy. So that I had listed for 50, but also, they got 20% off of that. And then finally, this little velour, like boat neck, little sweatshirty kind of thing, which again, another piece that originally I got for Whatnot. It sold for, it was $39, so about $31 after the discount that they used. They used one of the thank you coupons that I have, not thank you, like one of the favorited or abandoned cart coupons or something on Etsy. I have a 20% off thing set up for that. So let's see. So that is all of my shipping for today that I have to obviously package up and get out. So after the shipping, let's talk a little bit about some of my very small little level up situations. And I'm saying very small because, sorry, I'm getting my coffee here, because they feel small to me, but they also feel significant. And I think that any kind of good long-term change is going to be in tiny little increments. So the first thing that I did was I signed up for a sewing class at my local library. Very exciting. I have a sewing machine and I can kind of use it. Like I can thread it. Usually though, I have to look at the sewing manual each time I like take it out. I have to pull the manual out for the machine again to remember how to thread it, but I can thread it. And then like I sew like a seam, a straight line. I can't do really a whole lot more than that. I would love to be able to use it to repair zippers. Like you need a special foot for the zipper and all, so I want to learn that kind of stuff. And then there's a lot of nuance when it comes to the types of fabric that you're sewing. So for example, this shirt that I'm wearing is like a very stretchy fabric. So being able to sew this so that the seam can also stretch, you have to know what you're doing and use the right type of stitch with the right tension and all this. I don't know any of that stuff. So I'm hoping that this class will teach me that. Today, this was like a sewing class for total beginners. So it was literally like showing us how to thread machines. And the woman was going around to each one of us individually, like, okay, Laura, this is how you do this. Okay, Mary, this is how you do it. it was a little tedious, but it was fun. And I do like the other participants of the class. There was one young person there who is like clearly has some skills for sewing, but I guess just likes to come and hang out, meet new people, and like pick up on some other things. And what's really cool is that the instructor, I mean, it was like 5 of us in this class, it was pretty small. And the instructor encouraged us to like bring the projects that we want to start working on, and then we can actually do them in class. So there was another young woman in there and she helped her like patch a pair of sweatpants. You know, she basically patched the sweatpants for her. I thought was funny, but it's good. So I think I'm going to try and bring a sweatshirt next week that I'm trying to patch, and maybe I'll mess around with it in class. We'll see how that goes. Hmm. Wow, that's so hot. So sewing class, number one. Number two, I did upgrade my Vendue a little bit. So I have Vendue where I could do 125 items per month I can list, and I was cross posting to 3 platforms. And I purchased a bundle that allows me to cross post to all of the platforms that they have available. So for me, that means I'm going to be posting to a total of 6 platforms. Now, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing that on a long term basis, but we're going to give it a shot, right? And it also allows me to what they call delist and relist. So I can kind of bulk select items and it will take them down off of the current platforms that they're on and then like relist them again to the platforms. It's basically a way to like make the listings appear fresh. So I've had something listed for 3 years. I can take it down and just kind of pop it right back up. And it's supposed to have like, it's like new, you know? Usually, when I do things like that, I will tweak things. I'll try and change the title up a little bit. I'll change some of the descriptions so that it doesn't look exactly the same. I do think, especially with all of this AI stuff, that the platforms aren't fucking stupid, right? They can tell that this is the same exact thing as that other one. It's, you know, but um, but it is a commonly used technique. I don't do it very often because I've always had to rely on doing it manually. I was doing it more on Etsy. When my Etsy items would expire, I would take that opportunity to kind of decide if I want to tweak things and then relist them as a new item. But Etsy kind of doesn't expire my listings. So, I mean, win win, I guess, right? Anyway, so Vendue. Um, let's see. I feel like there was something else. Vendue. Oh, y'all, oh, I didn't finish talking about Vendue, but I have to share this exciting news with you. I'm finally eligible for monetization on YouTube. So far, as of this morning, I've made like $10. So it's not a whole lot. It's but I'm so excited about it. I When I started posting on YouTube, it was like a nice little fantasy that maybe I would be monetized someday, but I never thought that it would actually happen. So it's fun that it has. And so far, I mean, it's literally been a handful of days, but I'm averaging like $2 a day, maybe. So it's just super fun though, and it does feel like a little bit of a boost. And as far as like my business and how things are going, my sales have been really good on a lot of platforms for about the past month or so. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx that. So that's exciting. So it just feels really good. It feels like a lot of things are moving in a very positive direction, and I'm happy about that. And my next stuff, I mean, I do still have all of my little New Year resolution type projects that I'm working on, and it's very slow, painful progress with those. But, doing this Vendue upgrade, that's going to be part of it. Part of my goals I have is cross listing more items and doing my inventory reconciliation. And I was thinking that I had to wait until January 13th. I had tried to upgrade my Vendue, I think on December 21st. The 20th of the month is my billing cycle date. And when I did that, I got a message saying that it wouldn't go into effect until January 20th. And I was like, well, why am I going to do that? So, but then I went and just signed up for it anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you were up there. I signed up for it anyway and it went into effect immediately. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'll be able to start doing that whole project. And all of my inventory reconciliation and my cross posting are kind of going to be done together. So what I plan to do is start with an inventory box, box A. And as I go through it, every single item in the box, I'm going to make sure that Vendue knows what the SKU number is, which is just my inventory storage location, and that it's listed wherever it's supposed to be listed. If it's not already cross posted, I will cross post it. And actually, there's going to be a lot of cross posting because I just added 3 new platforms. So there's a lot of stuff that I've never cross posted. I've been on Vendue about not a year and a half, not quite, but a little over a year. And I have done some cross posting. Anything new that I put up, I always post everywhere that I'm listing, but I haven't gone back and cross posted a lot of the older inventory. I've been doing some, but it's, feels tedious to me. So I will be doing that as I reconcile my inventory. It's going to take me a very long time. Um, you all know that I've been posting to Etsy, eBay, and Depop when I do like quote unquote normal listings, right? I have Whatnot, but Whatnot is the fast auction site, and that's what I use that for. With Vendue, I am now able to cross post to more sites. They have a lot more options than what I elected to use, but I went ahead and added on Mercari, Poshmark, and Whatnot. And when I say I added Whatnot, what I mean by that is when I list something on Etsy, I'm also going to list it on Whatnot as though it's like an Etsy listing. It's not going to be like a $15 auction like my normal Whatnot stuff is. Slow down, Laura. It's going to be just like a regular buy it now listing, which is a thing you can do on Whatnot. I haven't really done that before because I don't feel like that's what my Whatnot is. But that's also not what my Whatnot will ever be if I don't put things available as buy it now listings. So I'm going to start doing it. I have only done a very small handful of them so far. The biggest task that was involved in all of this for me was setting up my Mercari account. I had a Mercari account, but I had only ever, signed up for it kind of as a buyer. I never purchased anything through Mercari. I've never listed anything for sale through Mercari. What is wrong with my mouth? So I had to go through and fill out all sorts of garbage and upload my ID to verify myself and all this crap. It was very tedious and I didn't like it. And I have to say, I didn't feel like Mercari made it very intuitive either. I had to sort of hunt around to find information about like if you're a seller, sort of what the steps are. It's like just list something now. And I was like, okay, well, and you have to like upload your bank information and all this stuff. One of the things that I also had to figure out was Mercari's shipping platform. Hold on. I keep picking it up and not drinking it. Mercari's shipping works similar to Poshmark or Depop in that they will provide you with a shipping label. You tell them how much the packaged item weighs and they give you a shipping label. And they generally have tiers set up. So it's like a small, medium, large, that type of thing. I don't know how Mercari does it because I'm not doing that. On Poshmark, you don't have a choice. You use their label and that's the end of the story. Depop and Mercari allow you to do your own shipping if you want. But as far as I can tell on Mercari, if I choose to do my own shipping, I'm paying for it, which is fine because that's kind of how I set my pricing up anyway for Etsy and Depop. So it's not that big a deal. It was just very difficult for me to figure out that that's what was happening. And also, I haven't tried listing anything directly to Mercari. I feel like I should, but I don't want to. And mostly I feel like I should because I do always feel like it's good to understand the ins and outs of a platform. Like I'm just listing through Vendue at this point, but I've never listed directly through Mercari or dealt with Mercari directly as a platform in the past. So I feel like ideally I should do that. I don't want to. So I'm just fucking doing it through Vendue and that's the end of the story. Okay. So I will say that when you list something in Vendue, the first thing you're doing is there's like your Vendue profile for the item and you're filling out information that is essentially shared by any of the other platforms that you're going to list on: your title, your item description, the item weight, the item price, any shipping information. And then you go and you fill out specifics for each of the various platforms. So Etsy has all of their 13 keywords and for the most part, it tries to match the categories, but the platforms all handle their categories a little bit differently. So Vendue does the best it can, but sometimes you have to go in and fix something. eBay has a bunch of drop downs for item specifics. Etsy, I have to add the era in because it's a vintage item. So I did find that Poshmark, Mercari, and Whatnot were all pretty quick. Like they are significantly faster. Etsy and eBay both take a long time. Depop, longer than I would like especially for the amount of sales I get on Depop. But the other three were really pretty quick. So I'm going to go from 3 platforms to 6 platforms every time I'm listing an item. it is going to be long and tedious. I did want to time myself for how long it took me to do an entire listing start to finish for all of the platforms. And I forgot to do that before I filmed this video. So you're welcome. So sorry, but I'm very excited about this. It seems like such a small thing to like pay an extra 12 bucks a month to upgrade my Vendue, but it's going to allow me to do a lot more. And it'll sort of also allow me to get started with my cross posting and inventory reconciliation. I could have done that before clearly anyway, but it just makes a lot of sense to kind of do it all together. Vendue also will allow me to download a report of all of the inventory that I have listed there. So I am going to do that. I am not super excited about that part. When I do inventory reconciliation, I do a lot of cross-checking. And I don't know if this is just me, like I come from a corporate America background, and so there's a lot of times when you're trying to like reconcile things and you need to just make sure that everything really matches. So what I like to do is make sure that everything that's on all of my accounts is also in my totes, and that everything in my totes is also listed. There are times that eBay will just like delete a listing for no reason. And then I come across the item in my tote later and it's like, where did that go? So, I want to be able to pull things like that out, and vice versa. Maybe something sold and got returned and I put it back in inventory but never reactivated it. So, things like that. I want to make sure that everything is as it should be. And that means that I usually like kind of double and triple check myself. And part of that is because I can't remember. Sometimes I'm like, wait, did I check that it was here? Did I check that it was there? And so that's kind of the reason I do this. Like I will literally take my tote bin, dump everything out of it. Each tote has, these little, you guys have seen these before, these little number tags that I use, right? So generally there's 30 items in each tote. So, F1 through 30. And I will dump everything out and I will do them in order, F1, F2, F3, and make sure that I find them all. As I find them in Vendue, do whatever I have to do to cross post it. I will have a spreadsheet from all of the detail I downloaded from Vendue, and I will mark it on that spreadsheet somehow. I will mark that I've cross posted everything and that I've made the SKU number. Like, this is the thing. I want to make sure I cross post it, that I make sure that the SKU is listed in Vendue at least. It will, if you put something into Vendue as you're doing your draft, it will then populate it into your Etsy, eBay, whatever. However, a lot of this stuff I imported from Etsy and imported from eBay. So if the SKU, and in the past in Etsy, I would put the SKU information basically in the item description. So I'd have the whole item description and then I'd like enter a bunch of times, and way at the bottom it would be like inventory F27. And so that I'll go and like fix and make sure that it's in its proper location in Vendue. But eBay also sometimes kind of like deletes my SKU numbers. eBay likes to get rid of shit, right? I don't know why, but they do it a lot, to me at least. And so when the SKU disappears from eBay, at least it's still in Vendue. So it'll allow me to clean up some of that too, because I've had a lot of problems where I've sold things on eBay and I have to hunt through like 30 totes because the SKU number was missing. Anyway, so it's a lot of like tiny little level up things for me. It's exciting for me. It's a little overwhelming also, but it's in a good way. And I just feel really positive about this stuff overall. I'm excited about it, happy about monetization on YouTube. Also, for the record, I'm sorry, like I don't know what y'all were seeing before, if you were getting ads or not. You will be now. Sorry, not sorry. But I do try to kind of like not make them too ridiculous. YouTube will sort of pick where it wants to put ads for you. And I am telling you, it's like every minute and a half, it's sticking an ad in there. So I do go through and pull a bunch of those out and try and make it not too intrusive. I know that when I watch YouTube videos, there's times where it's like, it'll show a commercial, show an ad, and then you skip the ad, and then it's literally just the end of the video. It's like, okay, like ad, it's like, okay, thanks, bye. And then the video's over. And I was like, what? That was unnecessary. So like I pull stuff like that out, I don't know. I feel like I've been very rambly and off kilter in this, but I was excited to be able to share some of those updates with you. I do want to do a really good video about Vendue sometime soon, but this is another like level up requirement for me that intimidates me a lot. I've seen people do YouTube videos where they are basically displaying their computer screen for you, and then the face is like in a little tiny box down here in the corner. I want to be able to do that stuff, but you need a separate program. And every time I try to figure out what program, there's like 400 results generated in Google, and I don't know what the best one is, and it scares me. And I'm just going to have to like pick one and figure it out and try it. Because I'd really like to be able to do stuff like that with you so that you can see how Vendue looks, and for anything. Like I could use it for, when I try and show you what I sold, I can actually show you the listing photos for Etsy or eBay rather than holding up this plastic bag and thinking, so it'll be very useful for me if I can do that. It's intimidating. Anyway, so now I have to get to work and package all of these lovely items that I sold. I'm so excited. And then I'm going to take the stupid hair down. Oh, sorry. I keep doing it. I forgot that it's up there. Sorry. Anyway, all right. That's it. I thank you guys so much for watching this. I appreciate it so much. And I always love your comments and everything. And that just, I mean, I love that you just watch in general, but when you comment, it's always so special to me and I appreciate it. Um, Thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you again soon.